Commander Min-Soo Park stood at the window of the diplomatic ship and looked at the stars. She had traveled to many places in her life, but this was different. This was the most important moment in human history. Humanity was about to meet the Talrathi collective for the first time. The Talrathi were an ancient empire. They had lived among the stars for thousands of years. No one knew how many worlds they controlled, how they wanted to meet with humans. Min-Soo was not alone. With her was Dr. Jisoo Han, one of the best scientists and diplomats in the world. Jisoo was nervous. He kept checking his notes and looking at the information they had about the Talrathi. There were also others on the ship. Haewon Cho was a tactical officer. She studied maps and security plans. Ho-Jun Park was an engineer. He looked at all the technology on the ship. Yejin Song was an intelligence specialist. She sat in the communication room and prepared for every possible conversation. These 5 people would represent all of Earth. The meeting would happen on Kepler 7, a neutral space station. Neither humans nor Talrathi had built it. Other alien species had made it long ago, as a place where different groups could meet and talk. When Min-Soo's ship arrived at the station, she felt her heart beat faster. The Talrathi ships were already there. They were huge. They were like moving mountains in space. Each ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built. Min-Soo led her team into the meeting room. The room was large and empty. There was a long table. On one side, humans would sit. On the other side, the Talrathi would sit. After a few minutes, the doors opened. The Talrathi came in. They were tall and thin. Their skin was blue and silver. Their eyes were very large and bright. They moved like they owned everything they saw. This was their first time meeting humans, but they did not seem interested or curious. They seemed like they already knew what they would say. The leader of the Talrathi was named Velthoris. He was very old. He had met many alien species before. He sat down and looked at Min-Soo and her team. His eyes did not move. "I am Velthoris," he said. His voice was deep and cold. "I represent the Talrathi collective. We have watched your world for a long time. You have made good progress as a young species, but now you must join us. You must accept our guidance. This is the best thing for Earth and all humans." Jisoo stood up slowly. "Thank you for meeting with us," he said. "Humans are happy to have peace with your people. We want to learn from you. We want to trade. We want to be partners with the Talrathi." Velthoris moved his head in a strange way. "Partners?" he said. The word seemed funny to him. "You are not ready to be partners. You are a young species. You do not have the knowledge we have. You do not have the power we have. The Talrathi collective does not have equals. We have those who serve the collective, and those who will serve the collective. There is no other way." Min-Soo watched carefully. She saw something strange. The Talrathi had brought cameras. They were filming the humans. They were studying their faces and their bodies. They were taking notes about how humans moved and talked. This was not normal behavior for a first meeting. Haewon noticed it too. She looked at Min-Soo and moved her head a little. She was worried. The Talrathi said they would give Earth time to think. "You have 60 days, Velthoris said. After 60 days we will return. At that time you will accept the collective. You will give us everything we ask for. You will send us your weapons plans. You will let us control your governments. You will help us grow stronger. This is not a choice. This is the way of things." With these words, Velthoris and his people got up and left. They moved together, like one large creature made of many small parts. Their power filled the room even after they left. Min-Soo sat in a quiet room with her team. No one spoke for a long time. Then Haewon said, "They were not really talking to us. They were studying us. Like scientists study animals." Jisoo nodded slowly. "I felt it too," he said. "They are not offering us friendship. They are offering us chains." Min-Soo looked at each of them. "We need to tell Earth what we learned. We need to tell them the truth. The Talrathi do not want us as equals. They want us as servants. They want us to do what they say. And if we do not do what they say, they will take what they want by force." Ho-Jun spoke for the first time. "They said they wanted our weapons plans. Why would they need our plans? Their ships are bigger. Their power is stronger. What could they learn from us?" Min-Soo smiled a little. "That is a good question, Ho-Jun, and I think I know the answer. They want to see what we can do. They want to know if we are a threat. They want to know if we will fight back or if we will give up easily. They are deciding how much trouble we might be before they take us over. Yejin had been quiet until now. She looked at Minsu with serious eyes. We need to get out of here, she said. We need to get back to Earth and warn everyone. If we wait, they might not let us leave. They might keep us here and use us to control Earth. Every moment we stay here, they learn more about us. Every word we speak, they record. We need to run now, Minsu agreed. The team began to move quickly. They had to get back to their ship. They had to tell Earth the truth. As they ran through the station, Minsu thought about what Velthoris had said. The Talrathi collective does not have equals. But perhaps she thought that was about to change. Perhaps humanity would show the Talrathi that they had made a mistake. Perhaps humans would teach them what it meant to meet a species that would not bow. Perhaps this meeting was not the end of human freedom. Perhaps it was just the beginning of a new kind of struggle. A struggle for survival. A struggle for the right to choose their own destiny. And humans had always been good at struggling. Back on Earth, in a secret government building, Yejin Song sat at a computer. She had worked here for many years. Her job was to listen to signals from space and to decode secret messages. 3 days after Minsu's team had left Kepler-7, Yejin found something very important. She found secret Talrathi messages. The messages were hidden and coded, but Yejin was very smart. She knew how to break these codes. What she found made her blood run cold. The messages said that the Talrathi were planning something bad. They did not want to help humans. They wanted to take Earth. They wanted to control all humans. One message said, resource potential. High population capacity for labor redistribution. Excellent. They are young. They do not know how to fight. They will be easy to control. Another message said, genetic material worth study. Physical strength average, but adaptability to different environments excellent. Suitable for many types of work. Yejin stood up from her desk. Her hands were shaking. She read the words again and again. The Talrathi were talking about humans like they talked about animals or machines. They saw humans as tools. They saw humans as things to use. They were planning to take everything. They wanted to take Earth. They wanted to take human freedom. They wanted to turn humans into workers or slaves. Yejin ran to find the president of Earth. She needed to tell him. She needed to tell him right now. At the same time, Minsu and her team were meeting with world leaders. They were telling them about the Talrathi. Minsu explained that the Talrathi did not want peace. They wanted power. They wanted to control Earth, she said. The Talrathi see us as weak. They see us as people they can push around. They are giving us 60 days. After 60 days, they will come back with their ships. They will demand that we give them everything. If we say no, they will take what they want by force. Some leaders did not believe Minsu. One leader said, the Talrathi have technology we cannot match. They have power we cannot fight. Maybe we should do what they say. Maybe that is the smart thing to do. Another leader said, we do not know if they will really attack us. Maybe they are just trying to scare us. Maybe we should wait and see. But when Yejin arrived with the secret messages, everything changed. Everyone saw the truth. The Talrathi did not want to be friends. The Talrathi wanted to be masters. The president called an emergency meeting of all nations. Leaders from every country in the world came together. Yejin showed them the Talrathi messages. Jisoo explained what Velthoris had said. Minsu told them about the Talrathi ships and their power. The room was very quiet. Everyone was afraid, but they were also angry. The idea that someone from the stars wanted to take away their freedom made them angry. The idea that the Talrathi saw humans as tools made them angry. Hojun stood up and said, we cannot fight them with the same weapons they have. They are too strong, but we have something they do not have. We have creativity. We have the ability to make new things. We have the ability to solve problems in new ways. If we work together, all of us, all nations, all people, we might be able to do something they do not expect. We might be able to surprise them. A general from a big country said, what do you mean, Hojun? What can we do that would surprise the Talrathi? Hojun said, the Talrathi have been doing the same thing for thousands of years. They are old. They are set in their ways. They do not change, but humans change. Humans learn. Humans do things in new ways. If we work very hard and very fast, we can make new weapons. We can make new technology. We can create defenses they have never seen before. We can make the Talrathi scared of us. The president looked at Minsu. What do you think, Commander? Can we do this? Can humans really stand up to the Talrathi? Minsu thought for a moment. Then she said, I do not know if we can win, but I know that we must try. I know that humans have never accepted slavery. I know that humans fight when they must fight. The Talrathi have never met a species that would fight them. They expect us to surrender. They expect us to be weak. But we are not weak. We are strong in different ways. We are clever. We are brave. And we want to be free. That is more powerful than any weapon. The leaders voted. The vote was clear. Humans would not surrender. Humans would not accept the Talrathi. Humans would prepare for war. Every nation agreed. They would work together. They would put all their money into making weapons. They would use their smartest people to make new technology. They would train their best fighters. They would prepare for a fight that had never happened before on Earth. A fight between humans and an alien empire. Minsu called a meeting with Hojun and other military leaders. She said, we have 58 days left. In 58 days, the Talrathi will return. We need to use every moment. We need to build weapons. We need to prepare. We need to make sure that when they come back, they will be sorry they ever thought about attacking Earth. Hojun nodded. He was already thinking about new weapons. He was already thinking about new defenses. That night, Minsu looked at the stars again. But this time she was not afraid. This time she was ready. She knew that the next 58 days would be the hardest days of her life. But she also knew that humans would do what they always did. They would work together. They would create. They would fight. They would refuse to give up. The Talrathi had made a big mistake. They had thought that humans would be easy. They had thought that humans would surrender without a fight. But the Talrathi did not know humans. The Talrathi did not understand what it meant to be human. And very soon they were going to learn. Every nation on Earth came together as never before. Governments shared their secrets. Military leaders worked with scientists. Rich people gave money to help. Poor people worked to build weapons and defenses. Factories worked day and night every single day. Workers did not sleep much. They worked because they knew what would happen if they did not. They knew that the Talrathi would come and take everything if humans were not ready. So everyone worked as hard as they could. One of the smartest scientists on Earth was Kyung-Soo Lee. He worked with light and energy and very small things that were hard to see. Kyung-Soo had an idea for a shield that could learn and change. When the Talrathi fired weapons at this shield, the shield would learn how the weapon worked. Then it would change itself to stop the weapon next time. The Talrathi weapons always worked the same way, but Kyung-Soo's shield could change every moment. It was like comparing a computer to a very old machine. The Talrathi did not have anything like it. Kyung-Soo worked day and night. His team was very small at first, but more people came to help him. Scientists from many different countries worked together. They shared ideas. They tested new things. After 3 weeks, they had made the first shield. It was not perfect, but it worked. When they tested it with weapons, the shield learned and changed. It became stronger. The scientists cheered. They had made something new. Something that might help humans survive. Hojun was working on weapons and ships too. He knew that humans could not build ships that were as big and powerful as the Talrathi ships, so he had a different idea. He would make many, many small ships and small weapons. Together, like a group of small fish that could bite like a big shark, they might be able to hurt the Talrathi. He designed drones. Drones are little flying machines that can move very fast and carry weapons. He designed robots that could fight without a human person inside them. He designed weapons that could think and make decisions by themselves. Ye-Jin was doing something very different. She was hacking into Talrathi technology. Every Talrathi message that was sent, Ye-Jin tried to capture it. Every secret code, she tried to break it. She was learning the language of machines that the Talrathi used. After many days, she had learned a lot. She learned the words and codes that could control Talrathi ships. She learned the codes that could make Talrathi computers stop working. She learned the codes that could tell Talrathi soldiers false information. Ye-Jin was creating a different kind of weapon. A weapon made of codes and words and ideas instead of metal and fire. Meanwhile, Misono was studying the Talrathi people. She was studying how they thought. She was studying how they made decisions. She was studying how they understood the world. Misun found something very important. The Talrathi always did the same thing. The Talrathi leaders made a plan, and all the other Talrathi followed that plan. The Talrathi did not know how to change their plans when something new happened. They did not know how to be creative. They did not know how to surprise each other. Misun realized something. The Talrathi were strong, but they were also predictable. And if you are predictable, you can be beaten by someone who is not. Misun went to Minsu and said, "The Talrathi will never expect us to do something crazy or strange. They will never expect us to do something that does not follow rules. They will never expect us to do something new and creative. We can use that. We can do things that confuse them. We can attack them in ways they have never seen before. We can make them afraid and confused." Minsu smiled. "That is good, Misun. That is very good. That is exactly what we need." Every day, more people came to help. Soldiers trained hard. Pilots practiced flying new ships. Engineers built new weapons. Scientists tested new ideas. Every person knew what was at stake. Every person knew that they were fighting for their families, their homes, and their freedom. They did not do this because they wanted to. They did this because they had to. They did this because they loved their world. The Talrathi did not know what was happening on Earth. They thought humans were weak. They thought humans would surrender. They did not know that every factory was making weapons. They did not know that every smart person was creating new technology. They did not know that humans were learning their secrets. They did not know that humans were preparing to surprise them. The Talrathi waited for the 60 days to pass. They were very confident. On Earth, the days grew shorter. The date of the Talrathi return was getting close. 50 days had passed, then 55 days, then 59 days. On the last day before the Talrathi would return, Minsu called everyone together. She stood in front of thousands of soldiers and workers and scientists. She said, "Tomorrow the Talrathi will come. Tomorrow we will show them that humans are not weak. Tomorrow we will show them that humans will fight for what is right. Tomorrow we will show them that they made a big mistake. Tomorrow the galaxy will learn that there is a new power among the stars. Tomorrow the galaxy will learn about humanity." The crowd cheered. They cheered because they were ready. They cheered because they had hope. They cheered because they believed they could do something that no one had ever done before. They cheered because they were about to do something very brave. Tomorrow would be the beginning. Tomorrow would be the day everything changed. Tomorrow would be the day humans stopped being afraid and started being brave. That night, Minsu could not sleep. She looked at the stars again. She thought about all the people who were ready to fight tomorrow. She thought about Kyung-Soo and his shields. She thought about Ho-Jun and his weapons. She thought about Ye-Jin and her secret codes. She thought about Misun and her understanding of the Talrathi. She thought about all the ordinary people who had become soldiers and heroes. Tomorrow would be hard. Tomorrow would be dangerous. But tomorrow would also be the day that humanity proved what it could do. The Talrathi ships appeared in Earth's sky. They were huge. They were black and silver. They looked like death coming from the stars. Velthoris sent a message. He said, "We have returned. We expect you to surrender. You will give us your weapons. You will let us control your governments. You will let us take your people. This is not a question. This is not a choice. This is how it will be." Velthoris was very confident. He had done this many times before. He had taken over many worlds. He believed this would be easy, but then something happened that Velthoris did not expect. Instead of surrendering, humans attacked. The sky around Earth filled with little ships. Thousands and thousands of them. They moved like a cloud of insects. They moved very fast. The Talrathi weapons tried to hit them, but there were too many. The human ships were small but fast. They hit the Talrathi ships again and again. The Talrathi soldiers looked at their weapons with confusion. They had never seen anything like this before. Kyung-Soo's shields began to work. When the Talrathi weapons hit a human ship, the shield learned what the weapon did. Then it changed itself. The same weapon did not work twice. The Talrathi soldiers tried to change their weapons, but they did not know how to do it fast enough. The humans were always one step ahead. The Talrathi ships were big, but they could not turn fast. They could not change direction fast. The human ships danced around them like birds dancing around a sleeping giant. Ho-Jun's drones and robots were fighting now. They moved without a human inside them. They did not need to be told what to do every moment. They could think for themselves. They could make decisions. When a Talrathi soldier tried to shoot a drone, 3 more drones would hit the Talrathi soldier. The robots worked together like a team. They helped each other. They learned from each other. The Talrathi soldiers began to feel scared. They began to feel confused. They did not know how to fight an enemy that was this different from them. At the same time, Yejin was sitting in a control room far below the ground. She was sending secret codes to the Talrathi ships. These codes confused the Talrathi computers. The computers began to send wrong information to the Talrathi leaders. Commanders were told to go to the wrong place. Weapons were told to aim at the wrong target. Some weapons did not work at all. The Talrathi did not understand what was happening. They thought their ships were broken. They did not know that a human girl was inside their computers making chaos and confusion. Minsu was in a big ship high above the earth. She was watching the battle. She was making decisions about where to send human fighters. She was following Misun's advice. Misun had told her where the Talrathi would expect an attack. So Minsu attacked everywhere except where they expected. She attacked from the left when they looked to the right. She attacked from above when they looked below. The Talrathi soldiers did not know how to respond. Every time they prepared for an attack, the attack came from a different place. The battle lasted many hours. The Talrathi lost more and more ships. They lost more and more soldiers. Velthoris was very angry now. Velthoris was very confused. He could not understand how this was happening. He had defeated many species. He had fought many wars. But he had never faced an enemy like this. An enemy that could think. An enemy that could change. An enemy that would not give up. Velthoris sent a message to his commanders. He said, "We are the Talrathi collective. We do not lose. We will destroy them all." But even as Velthoris said this, something very important was happening. Hojun had planned what he called Operation Endgame. This was a special attack. This was a very dangerous attack. But if it worked, it would change everything. A group of human pilots would fly very close to the biggest Talrathi ship. The biggest ship was the command ship. This is where Velthoris was. This is where the Talrathi leaders gave their orders. If the command ship was destroyed, the Talrathi would not know what to do. They would be lost and confused without orders from their leaders. The human pilots flew very fast. They flew toward the biggest ship. The Talrathi soldiers shot at them with everything they had. Many human pilots died. Many ships were destroyed. But some pilots got through. They got very close to the command ship. They fired their weapons. They fired over and over. They hit the same place over and over until the ship began to break. The biggest Talrathi ship began to fall. It began to break apart. It began to die. When the other Talrathi ships saw their command ship fall, something very strange happened. They did not know what to do. There was no leader to tell them what to do. Velthoris was dead or gone or unreachable. The Talrathi soldiers looked to their commanders for orders. But the commanders did not know. The commanders had never had to make their own decisions before. They had always just followed orders. Now they had to think. They did not know how to think. The Talrathi ships began to pull back. Some of them started to turn and run. Some of them stopped moving altogether. The Talrathi soldiers stopped fighting. They stopped attacking. They just tried to leave Earth. The humans did not stop them. Minsu let them run. She did not want to kill every Talrathi. She just wanted them to leave. She wanted them to understand that humans could fight. She wanted them to understand that humans would not give up. She wanted them to understand that they had made a big mistake. In the control room, Yejin watched the Talrathi ships leave the Earth system. The battle was over. Humans had won. Yejin felt tears in her eyes. They had done it. They had really done it. They had fought against a powerful empire and they had won. They had saved their world. They had saved their people. They had shown the galaxy what humans could do. Minsu sent a message to all humans on Earth. She said, "We have fought. We have won. The Talrathi have learned that Earth will not bow to anyone. Earth is free. Humans are free. We are the masters of our own destiny. And no one in all the galaxy should ever forget this day. Today is the day that humanity became a power in the stars. Today is the day that everything changed." 3 months after the battle, the remaining Talrathi ships sent a message. Velthoris was still alive. He was hurt but alive. He wanted to meet with Minsu again. This time it would be different. This time Velthoris wanted to talk as equals. The Talrathi were shocked. They had never lost a battle before. They had never met a species that would fight back. Velthoris wanted to understand what had happened. He wanted to understand how humans had won. Minsu met with Velthoris on a different station. This time Velthoris was not sitting at a table like a king. Velthoris was sitting like a person who had learned a hard lesson. He said, "I do not understand. The Talrathi Collective has ruled for thousands of years. We have never lost. We have never met anyone who would not surrender. But you did not surrender. You fought. You were creative. You did things we did not expect. How is this possible?" Minsu said, "We are different from you. We are young. We are not set in our ways. We can change. We can create. We can do things that have never been done before. We do not just follow old rules. We make new rules. We do not accept the idea that we must lose. We fight for our freedom. When you try to take our freedom, we become very strong. You did not know this about humans. Now you know." Velthoris asked, "What will you do now? Will you destroy us? Will you take our worlds? Will you do to us what we tried to do to you?" Minsu said, "No, we do not want to destroy you. We do not want to take your worlds. We want peace. We want to trade with you. We want to learn from you. But we will not be servants. We will not bow to you. We will be partners. We will be equals. And if you try to take our freedom again, we will fight again. But this time we will be even stronger." Velthoris was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "I understand. The Talrathi Collective will accept this. We will be partners with humans. We will trade with you. We will learn from you. And perhaps we will learn how to change. Perhaps we will learn how to be creative like you. Perhaps this defeat will teach us something valuable." And so the two powers made a peace agreement. Not because one was stronger, but because they had found respect for each other. The news spread through the galaxy. Everyone heard about humanity's victory. Everyone heard about how a young species had fought back against a powerful empire and won. Young species that had been afraid began to believe they had a chance. Old species began to listen instead of just giving orders. Humanity became famous, not because they were the strongest, but because they had shown courage and creativity and the will to be free. Many species wanted to be friends with humans now. Many species wanted to learn from humans. Many species wanted to have peace agreements with Earth. Dr. Jisoo Han became the main diplomat for Earth. He traveled through the galaxy making peace treaties. He met with species from 100 different worlds. He made friendship agreements with dozens of different empires. Earth became the center of a new alliance of free species. Species that believed in freedom and creativity and change. Species that did not bow to anyone. Species that would help each other. Kyungsu's adaptive shields became famous. Other species wanted to buy them. Kyungsu taught scientists from other worlds how to make shields like this. His technology spread through the galaxy. It became the standard way to protect ships. Every major power in the galaxy now used Kyungsu's technology. Students came from many worlds to study with him. He became one of the most important scientists in the galaxy. Hojun's weapons and drones became famous too. Military leaders from many worlds wanted to study his designs. They wanted to understand how he had created weapons that could think for themselves. Hojun opened schools to teach other species how to make new weapons. His ideas spread through the galaxy. His ideas changed how all species thought about warfare. They learned that creativity was more important than just having bigger ships. Yejin became a teacher of cyber warfare. She taught other species how to hack into computers and break codes. She taught them how to use information as a weapon. Her ideas changed the way all species thought about communication and security. She became one of the most respected intelligence officers in the galaxy. She was invited to every important meeting. She was asked to help solve impossible problems. Misun's study of different species became a new science. She wrote books about how different peoples thought and made decisions. She taught other species how to understand each other better. Her work helped stop many wars before they started. Her work helped different species become friends instead of enemies. She became known as the greatest expert on understanding different peoples in the whole galaxy. But the most important change was that humans became respected. Humans were no longer seen as weak or unimportant. Humans were seen as creative and brave and resourceful. Young people from other species wanted to come to Earth to study. They wanted to learn how humans thought. They wanted to understand human creativity and human courage. Earth became a center of learning and knowledge. Earth became a place where the best ideas came from. Years later, Minsu stood on Earth and looked at the stars again. But this time she was smiling. The stars were not something to be afraid of. The stars were something to explore. The stars were a place where humans had friends and allies and partners. The stars were a place where humans had made their mark. The stars were a place where humans would continue to do great things. She thought about all the people who had worked hard to save their world. She thought about the soldiers and engineers and scientists. She thought about all the ordinary people who had become heroes. She thought about how they had done something no one had ever done before. They had shown that even a young species could stand up to an old and powerful empire. They had shown that courage and creativity and determination were more powerful than just having more weapons and more ships. Min Su felt proud. She felt honored to be human. She felt happy that humans had chosen to fight instead of surrender. She felt grateful to all the people who had helped save their world. But most of all, she felt hopeful. She felt hopeful about the future. She knew that humans would do great things in the stars. She knew that humans would create new things and solve new problems. She knew that humanity would never stop growing and learning and changing. As the sun set on Earth, Minsu whispered to the stars, "Thank you for teaching us. Thank you for making us strong. Thank you for showing us what we are capable of. We are human. We are creative. We are brave. We are free. And nothing in all the galaxy will ever change that." And the stars seemed to shine a little brighter, as if they were answering her back, as if they were saying, "Welcome to the galaxy, humanity. Welcome to your destiny. Welcome to your place among the stars."